Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to unpack complex ideas, find those core insights, give you that aha moment. Today, we're jumping into something maybe a bit different. It seems simple on the surface, but it's actually pretty deep. The very basics of learning a language. We're exploring how that foundational knowledge gets introduced, and maybe more importantly, why certain things are chosen as, the absolute starting point for a total newcomer. Our source for this is excerpts from English Made Simple, Everyday Sentences.
Right.
A program really aimed at absolute beginners. They promise to keep it super simple and easy. So our mission today really is to dig into that simplicity, understand the choices behind it, what makes these specific sentences the foundation.
Yeah, it's a great source for a deep dive, actually, because it shows really clearly how you can tackle those first, often overwhelming steps in language learning. It lays out this very clear, structured path. That in itself, is huge for beginners' confidence. And for you listening, well, maybe you're not learning English, but understanding these fundamentals, it gives you a window into how basic concepts get taught, how fluency really gets built in any skill, actually.
Absolutely. That starting point promise is key. And their method is very direct. They give you an English sentence, explain it in Hindi, and then immediately get you to repeat it. Practice. We're focusing on 6 core sentences they present. They say these are essential for daily use. So what's the thinking there? Why these 6 to begin with?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? What's really fascinating is how strategic these sentences are. They're not just random words. They hit on the learner's most basic needs right away, connection, identification. You think about communication more broadly, these aren't just words, they're tools. Functional chunks, some linguists call them.
Functional chunks, okay.
Yeah, like little prepackaged ideas or social routines that let you interact immediately, even if it's simple. And that bilingual approach, using Hindi, that's critical too. It just lowers the mental barrier right down, lets you grasp the meaning instantly, builds confidence.
Okay, let's break down those first few then, because they really seem designed for immediate use. First one, how are you? Pretty universal, right? Asking how someone is.
Standard stuff.
Then number 2, I'm fine, thank you. And they flag that as the polite reply.
Important emphasis on politeness there.
And third, what is your name? Which they say is great to start a conversation. Now, here's where it gets interesting, I think. Those 3 together, they form a tiny conversation right off the bat.
Exactly. That's the power. It immediately lets a learner actually do something. Engage in a real, albeit basic, polite exchange. You can ask, answer, ask back. It's a whole script.
A script.
It's not just vocabulary. It's learning the rhythm, the turn-taking of conversation.
Yeah.
And the politeness factor, the thank you, that's woven in from the start. It shows language is social. It carries cultural norms. You teach that early on. You help learners avoid, awkwardness and build rapport faster.
That makes a lot of sense, the social scripting aspect. So building on that, the next 3 sentences, they keep going with this personal info exchange. Sentence 4, my name is Rahul. But crucially, they add, use your own name here.
Personalization, yeah. Making it immediately relevant.
Then sentence 5, nice to meet you. Again, super common, essential, polite phrase.
Standard greeting closure.
And finally, number 6, where are you from? And the matching reply, I am from Delhi. Again, with the note to say your own city. So, okay, some might say, isn't this too simple? But what's the value in this specific progression? From hello to name to where you're from?
Well, it might look simple, but it's very effective scaffolding. That's what educators call it.
Scaffolding. Okay.
Yeah, building up support. The whole set, all 6 sentences, gives you a complete little framework. You can introduce yourself, start a basic chat, and why these phrases? Because they address, universal human needs. Connecting with others, saying who you are, especially when you're in a new place or using a new language.
Right.
The sequence makes sense too. General greetings first, then sharing names, then maybe where you're from. It mimics how people often interact naturally. It's giving learners a safe structure, like you said earlier, a safety net. They practice this before they have to, make things up on the fly.
And the repetition, they really stress that.
Oh, absolutely critical. Speaking out loud, repeating, it's not just memorizing words on a page. It's about building muscle memory for your mouth, for pronunciation. And it helps embed these phrases much deeper through active recall. That's how you move from just understanding to actually speaking.
Yeah. You got to say it. And that leads right into their closing thoughts, which kind of sums up what we've been digging into here about foundational learning. They actually say, quote, these may seem small, but they're the foundation of good English speaking.
There it is. Explicitly calling it the foundation.
Yeah. And they push hard for daily practice. Speak out loud, repeat these lines, and use them in real life. It's all about action.
Putting it to use.
And they even give a little teaser for the next step in their program, learning how to order food. So you see that clear progression, right? Personal intro, then practical stuff.
Logical steps. Building block by building block.
So yeah, what we've really seen today is how even this very simple teaching material can show us a lot about how fundamental knowledge gets structured, how it's taught effectively. It's a good reminder, I think, about the power of those building blocks.
Yeah.
Whatever you're learning, language, coding, cooking, whatever, understanding the basics, really understanding them is key.
Absolutely. Those simple parts often hold the deepest principles.
So any final thought on this, connecting it maybe to the bigger picture?
Well, yeah, if we zoom out, think about it. Mastering just these few basic phrases, it can literally unlock a whole new world, new connections, new interactions. It's like a small key, but it opens a really big door. So maybe something for you, the listener, to ponder. What seemingly small foundations in your own life, your own learning, are actually the crucial gateways, the keys to much bigger things worth talking about.
That is a powerful thought. A great place to leave it. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks for tuning in.